All right, let's talk about what makes us tick. Today, we're diving into the pretty simple chemistry behind our most complex feelings. Things like motivation, achievement, and connection. We're going to break down the four chemicals that literally make you feel good. So let's start with a bit of a mystery. Have you ever wondered what that invisible force is that makes us push through unbelievable limits to do things that honestly seem almost impossible? I mean, what makes someone put themselves through the sheer physical pain and total exhaustion of climbing a mountain? Or what's going on inside a runner's body that lets them push through that wall of fatigue in the final miles of a marathon? And what is it that drives people to pour years of their life, all their energy, into building something that's going to be around long after they are? Well, the answer, it turns out, isn't just some vague idea like willpower. Nope, it's biological. Our bodies are just perfectly engineered with this amazing built-in reward system. And this whole reward system, it runs on just a handful of key chemicals. So for our first section here, let's pull back the curtain and meet the four little molecules that are responsible for all these incredible drives. And here they are: endorphins, dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin. You can basically group them into two pairs, and each pair serves a really different but equally important purpose. One is all about individual achievement, and the other is all about social connection. Okay, let's get into it. First up, we've got what you could call these selfish chemicals. And I don't mean selfish in a bad way. These are the ones that are all about you, your goals, and your personal drive to get things done. Endorphins are basically nature's painkiller. Just think back to our ancient ancestors, who had to hunt for miles and miles. Endorphins masked their pain so they could get food and survive. Well, today, that exact same chemical helps a marathon runner cross the finish line, turning what should be agony into a feeling of pure exhilaration. And it's not just for, extreme athletes. Even a really good, deep belly laugh releases endorphins. The theory is that it actually helps groups bond. We share this feeling of joy while our body masks the minor pain of our organs kind of spasming. It literally feels good to laugh together. Next up is dopamine. This is that incredible, almost electric feeling of satisfaction you get when you finally achieve something. It's that, yes, I did it moment when you cross something big off your to-do list or you hit a major goal. And this is exactly why writing down your goals and sticking them on the wall actually works. We're such visual creatures. Just seeing that goal gives your brain a little hit of dopamine, and that's what motivates you to keep going until you get that big reward at the very end. So what's really crucial here is how these two work as a team. Endorphins are the fuel that gets you through the tough stuff, masking the pain of all the effort. And then dopamine is the prize at the finish line that makes it all feel worth it, and, importantly, makes you want to do it all over again. But here's the thing, we can't do everything by ourselves. For the really big things in life, we need each other. And that brings us to these selfless chemicals, the ones that help us form tribes, build trust, and work together. So first, we have serotonin, the leadership chemical. It's that feeling of pride we get when we feel like other people like or respect us. It's the whole reason we have things like graduation ceremonies and give out public awards. And hey, it's also the feeling you get from likes on social media. It's just a modern, digital version of public approval. That feeling of being recognized by the group makes us feel strong, confident, and even responsible for the people who support us. And then we have oxytocin. You can pretty much just think of this as chemical love. It's that warm, calm feeling of safety and trust you have with your absolute closest friends. It gets released through things like acts of generosity or even physical touch. And it's the chemical that makes us want to be kind to others, helping us build those deep, lasting bonds. So these two chemicals really paint a picture of our social lives, right? Serotonin is about that public recognition and feeling respected by the tribe, which boosts our status. Oxytocin, on the other hand, is about those deep, personal bonds of trust and safety that we feel with the people closest to us. Now, these chemical systems are incredibly powerful, but they're not perfect. So what happens when we lose our balance? When we start relying way too much on one set of chemicals and totally neglect the other? Well, if you only chase those achievement chemicals, endorphins and dopamine, you can get addicted to the win. You might be wildly successful, but you'll feel totally isolated, just constantly chasing that next hit. But on the flip side, if you only focus on the connection chemicals, you might be loved by everyone, but feel like a bit of a failure because you haven't achieved your own personal goals. And this is the real danger of living an unbalanced life.
A life that's full of trophies and accomplishments can feel so profoundly lonely and empty if you haven't nurtured those selfless chemicals and brought people along for the ride. So, the whole point is that true, lasting fulfillment isn't about choosing one path or the other. It's about mastering the art of balancing both, balancing our drive for personal success with our deep, fundamental need for human connection. And this is why all of this matters so much. You can literally be the architect of your own happiness. You can consciously structure your life to get the benefits of all four of these powerful chemicals. So yeah, set those visual goals for yourself, but also make sure you invest real time in genuine acts of service and connection with others. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about winning the race. It's about having someone you love and trust to celebrate with you at the finish line. That's the balance that leads to a truly fulfilling life. And that kind of leaves us with one final thought to take away. Take a second and look at your own life. Which of these chemicals are driving you today? And which ones might need a little more of your attention?